Hello everyone, my name's Matt and welcome to another week of Vectra news. Here's what we have coming up in today's episode. News about the next Assassin's Creed game is leaked early. Nintendo hosts a direct event to showcase Splatoon's upcoming features. Rockstar comments on their official stance for the use of GTA 5 mods. And a release schedule from a recent EA conference call suggests an early 2016 release for Mirror's Edge 2. It looks as though the next Assassin's Creed game won't be called Victory, as recent leaks of the upcoming reveal suggest that the next game will instead be called Assassins Creed Syndicate, with the main protagonist being an assassin called Jacob Frye. But as the leaked information from last year did suggest, the game has been confirmed to be set in the 19th century Victorian era in England, after a teaser image for the game referenced a Charles Dickens quote, which was "We forge the chains we wear in life," along with the term "God save the Queen." In the same picture, the word rooks is also believed to be referring to a bird, which is, surprise surprise, commonly located in Great Britain. Plus, if the leaked screenshots from December are anything to go by, we can expect the stereotypical rainy weather, combat on top of a horse and carriage, and that huge clock that for some reason we like to call Big Ben. This game is also expected to be running on the Anvil engine, which was the same one that was used for Assassin's Creed Unity. It also looks like brass knuckles and a cane will both feature in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, although at this point in time it's currently unknown as to how exactly. However, all is expected to be made clear on Tuesday at 5 PM GMT, which is noon Eastern Time, when Ubisoft will be live streaming an official reveal for the game. Here's hoping that they have remembered to add the characters' faces to the game, and that the NPCs aren't constantly changing their gender and clothes throughout the stream. On Thursday, Nintendo hosted their most recent Direct event to showcase their upcoming title and new IP Splatoon. Plenty of new information and features were revealed during the event, including customization options, weapons, abilities, modes, and further details about the single-player aspects of the game. In regards to customization, Nintendo revealed an explorable city called Inkopolis, which is essentially an area where you can visit shops and buy new items. There were 3 different shops mentioned during this showcase, which were Shrimp Kicks, a place where you can buy your shoes, Cooler Heads, a shop for hats and glasses, and Ammo Night, which is the shop for any weapon-related needs. In terms of the items, it turns out they won't just reflect your fashion sense, as there was also the introduction of gear abilities. These gear abilities are determined by the hats, clothing, and shoes you're wearing, each of which will improve certain gameplay elements for your character in the form of buffs. For example, there is the Ink Saver ability, which will allow you to use your ink more efficiently, a Swim Speed Up ability, which obviously will allow you to swim a lot faster, and there's also some more interesting and strategic abilities like Ninja Squid and Stealth Jump. In total, there are 18 different abilities to take into account when customizing your character, so it'll be important not just to focus on making your character look cool. There will also be up to 9 different weapons to choose from, each of which will fall into one of 3 different categories. The first one is the roller, which as the name suggests are the type of weapons that come in the form of a long paint roller that can cover large areas in a short space of time. This category tends to be used for close combat type situations, however you will additionally be able to flick ink at enemies within a short range of you. The second category is the shooter, which is pretty much the assault and SMG section of the weapons. These weapons tend to be medium range with a fast rate of fire. The third and final category is the charger, which is the sniper type selection of weapons. These ones tend to be your long range, slow reload but high damage choices. In addition to these main weapons, Nintendo revealed that players will also have sub-weapons and special weapons to choose from for their loadouts. Sub-weapons can be seen as attachments for your main weapon, or even placeable equipment like the Ink Mine, which acts the same way as a claymore does in some of the other shooter games out there. Special weapons can be used once you've covered a certain amount of ground with ink, after which you can summon an almighty ink tornado, shield yourself in a protective bubble, or even unleash the Kraken that doesn't look anything like a Kraken but instead is just a giant version of the squid form. For those more interested in the single player side of things, you can expect there to be boss battles, ink rails, balloon fish, invisible floors, cannons, flooders, new items found throughout certain areas, and even power eggs which are said to power up your weaponry. Now, after revealing this horde of new information about the game, a playable demo was also announced at the very end of the Direct, which Nintendo referenced to as global testfire events. These basically involve players being able to try the game out at set times on the Friday and Saturday that have just passed. To finish off the Direct, the future support for the game was also covered briefly, with the mention of free updates that include new rule sets for rank battle, new weapons, new maps and new clothes. There will also be a huge post-launch event in August later this year that is said to feature enhanced matchmaking and custom battle options for private matches with you and your friends. It turns out that Rockstar is perfectly fine with people modding the single player side of GTA 5. Apparently any recent game updates that broke single player mods did so unintentionally. Rockstar did recently comment on their stance for modding by providing the following statement. To be clear, the modding policy in our license has not changed and is the same as for GTA 4. Recent updates to GTA 5 PC had an unintended effect of making unplayable certain single player modifications. This was not intentional. No one has been banned for using single player mods, and you should not worry about being banned or being relegated to the cheater pool just for using single player PC mods. So if you're using mods on a single player basis, you have nothing to worry about. Basically, Rockstar's only concern with mods is for GTA Online, as this is something which could clearly be abused and could potentially spoil other players' gameplay experiences. This was something Rockstar also reinforced by stating that their primary focus is on protecting GTA Online against modifications that could give players an unfair advantage, disrupt gameplay or cause griefing. It also bears mentioning that because game mods are by definition unauthorized, they may be broken by technical updates, cause instability, or affect your game in other unforeseen ways. To further deter players from cheating on GTA Online, Rockstar is actively flagging YouTube videos for takedown that encourage or teach people how to gain illegitimate RP and money. The sequel for Mirror's Edge could be set for release as soon as early next year. That's according to an EA release schedule that was used for a conference call recently. In this release schedule, a new Need for Speed title has an expected release date of 2015, a new Plants vs Zombie game is set for early 2016, and Mirror's Edge 2 is also planned for release in early 2016. It's been almost 7 years since the original Mirror's Edge title was released, and it's been a sequel that many have been asking and waiting for, and if this release schedule is anything to go by, fans of the franchise won't have to wait that much longer. Some brief gameplay for Mirror's Edge 2 was revealed at last year's E3, but even more about the game will most likely be discussed next month at this year's E3 event. But that's all for Vectra News this week. Don't forget to like and share this video if you have enjoyed it, follow us on Twitter and Facebook to stay up to date with everything, and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you'd like to see more content from us. Other than that, I have been Matt, and I'll see you guys later.